Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's good to see everybody. And what a well-behaved, attentive group. Sometimes it takes a few hellos. Good evening. Welcome to the 2023 Stittsville Volunteer Awards. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs, et bienvenue aux présentations des prix de reconnaissance des bénévoles de Stittsville. Tonight we acknowledge that Ottawa is located on unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation, whose culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. Il est important de souligner que la ville d'Ottawa se trouve sur un territoire non cédé de la nation algonquine Anishinaabe, dont la culture et la présence ont enrichi et continuent d'enrichir ces terres. My name is Glenn Gower. I'm the City Councilor for Stittsville, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies for tonight. We have a few special guests with us this evening, as well as speakers, and of course a welcome to all of our nominees and their friends and families who are joining us this evening. To begin, please stand if you're able to, and join Abby Thompson for the singing of O Canada. Veuillez vous lever et joignez à Abby Thompson pour l'interprétation de notre hymne national. Thank you, Abby. Merci. Abby is a student at U-Rock Music School. Thank you, Abby. A few housekeeping notes before we get into things. It is a hot night tonight. I don't know if you can hear it, but the air conditioning up here in the front is just blasting. But if you are feeling the heat and you need a cold drink of water, at the back there, Spencer from my team is serving as our bartender tonight. He's got lots of cold bottles of water at the back if you need it. And there are also washrooms at the back of the room as well. These awards are a very special tradition in the Stittsville community. In fact, the tradition started over 30 years ago, way back in 1990, when this was known as the Goulburn Appreciation Awards. And since then, the awards have highlighted the contributions of so many outstanding Stittsville volunteers, and we're fortunate to be joined tonight by several winners from previous years. So welcome to all of the previous year's recipients who are in the room tonight. And at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce a very special guest for some opening remarks. Please welcome Mayor Mark Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Glenn, and good evening, everyone. Bonsoir, tout le monde. C'est vraiment un plaisir d'être ici avec vous ce soir. I'll apologize for my voice. I have a little scratchy throat today, but I didn't want to miss this event because it is so special, and I wanted to be here to say thank you to all the amazing volunteers in Stittsville. This is just such a wonderful example of how the community works together. So I'm really delighted to be here. And on behalf of all my colleagues on Ottawa City Council, I want to salute you and really celebrate the extraordinary dedication and selflessness of our remarkable volunteers. Au nom de la ville d'Ottawa, j'ai le plaisir d'être ici ce soir pour célébrer le dévouement et l'altruisme de nos remarquables bénévoles. And I want to take a moment to reflect on, for example, a significant event that happened in our community just roughly a year ago. The storm, the derecho that happened, brought destruction and hardship to many different parts of Ottawa, as you know, including Stittsville. And it tested our resilience as a community. But what happened? Our entire community came together. And because of volunteers, like many of the people in the room today, we demonstrated unwavering support, resilience, and strength in the face of such a challenging situation. We saw neighbors helping neighbors, strangers becoming friends, and an incredible bond being formed, illustrating the power of unity in a time of crisis. So tonight we gather to recognize and celebrate each and every volunteer who has made a positive difference in the lives of others. Ce soir, nous nous réunissons pour reconnaître et célébrer tous les bénévoles qui ont fait une différence positive dans la vie des autres. Your selflessness, your dedication, your compassion are truly the lifeblood of our community, and we are grateful for your service. We're grateful to each and every one of you. As we recognize the exceptional volunteers tonight, let's remember that the power to uplift our community resides within each and every one of us. I don't have to tell you that because you are the best examples of it. The spirit of Stittsville, demonstrated during the storm last year, serves as a constant reminder that together we can overcome any challenge. Working together as a community, we can truly do anything. So thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your hard work, your unwavering dedication to making Stittsville and Ottawa truly a better place for all. I want to congratulate all the nominees and winners tonight and wish you a wonderful evening, very special evening. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's now my honor to introduce our guest speaker tonight, a Stittsville resident, Terrence Christopher, better known as Terry to many of us. He is a retired Canadian naval officer and former usher of the Black Rod for the Senate of Canada. He rose to the rank of Lieutenant Commander in the Royal Canadian Navy, and as usher of the Black Rod for the Senate, he held the most senior protocol office in the Canadian government and has coordinated numerous royal visits and visits of heads of state from around the world, and he's also a member of our Volunteer Awards Selection Committee. Please give a warm welcome to Terry Christopher. Terry.
Mr. Mayor, before you leave, I just wanted to say congratulations, first of all, on your election, and secondly, on your 39th event, marathon. I also wanted to say that this is a year of marathons, time of marathons, and the lady from Stittsville just did that grueling ultra marathon in Morocco. And a 96-year-old lady in Ottawa just ran the marathon on Saturday. All of those people were running for a reason, and it wasn't for them to get in shape. They were running for a reason because they wanted to contribute to Ottawa and its society. They were running because they had a reason. In the case of the mayor, he wanted to raise money for Salas Center. And that was a big thing because they lost their place with respect to a fire. Now I want to say that given tonight, when you read the newspapers, when you see the news, all of Ottawa is full of volunteers. While we're here tonight, I'm sure there are thousands of people who are giving of their time, energy, etc. for one cause or another in Ottawa. And those people are people who are supporting the mayor in everything he does. because that's what it takes to make a city, a community of volunteers, a community of people, a team effort. But I want to talk to you tonight about another type of marathon. Another type of marathon that I've run and that you are now running. And that is the marathon of service to others. Service to others for a reason. Some of you started as teenagers or young people and have grown into contributing year after 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 year. And so when I was reading and going through all of the nominees, my first thing was, it takes a special person to start a nomination. And that nominator, the nominator is the person we never hear about and we never see. But that nominator had to take time out of his or her time to write a special report. That nominator cared enough about you to write a very detailed and very special nomination about your work here in this community. Myself, I'm the father of 3 boys and a set of twins and a young lady. I have 7 grandchildren, and on June 8th I'll have my 2nd great-grandson being born in Alberta, in the northern part of Alberta. So as a family man, I know how difficult it is to lend your time and effort, because you need the support of your wife, of your partner, of your children in doing what you're doing. In my case, I started way back when I was elected mayor of Cornwallis, Nova Scotia, when I was down paying a highway traffic ticket. And I was running against 7 other people, and when I got home, my wife said to me, "You're elected mayor." So I went out in the field with a swat and started cutting down all the tall grasses. From that day forward, a lot of people came out and supported me, and we built a park in that community. We opened community centers, a youth center, adult education nights. We did all kinds of things to try to make this small community a better place for families to live. That was the beginning. My mother died of pancreatic cancer. When we were in Alliston, Ontario, I got involved with the Rotary Club. And I started campaigning door to door to raise money for cancer. Next thing I know, I was sponsoring a breast cancer night at a hall in Alliston, Ontario, at a time when breast cancer wasn't hardly even known. And then we started, as a Rotary Club, we started a festival called the Alliston Potato Festival. I went around and bummed potatoes off all the potato farmers in Alliston. We got 1,900 pounds of roast beef cooked overnight, and we served all those varieties of people. We raised a lot of money. And to this day, the Potato Festival in Alliston is a big item. It's almost like Canada Day is to Ottawa. And thank God for that. But you never know when you start small how things are going to turn out, what your goal is, or whether you even have a goal. Because the marathon I ran, and unlike the marathon that the mayor ran, he had a set pattern to run. Your pattern is not set, and neither was mine, because we're going to take whatever road we can to get to where we want to go, and those are our choices, and those are the things that we're going to think about and choose the road that we're going to follow. The young people that are in here tonight do not know right now what they're going to be doing for the rest of their lives. Thank God for that, because you'll find out as you go, because life is a big adventure, and you'll soon find out which road you want to take in your marathon of life. Speaking of marathons, the biggest marathon that I ever got involved with was the Marathon of Hope. You may have heard of it. I was involved with the Cancer Society, and I was on the board in Toronto. We went down to Toronto for a meeting with the board of directors, and I said to them that Terry Fox is going to put his foot in had already put his foot in the water in Newfoundland, and he's going to run right across Canada. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, no, he's not going to make it that far. Oh, no. Oh, what about medical liability? Oh, yeah, what about medical liability? Well, here we are today, and I came back out of that meeting with Jack Hilliard, who was the Eastern District of the Canadian Cancer Society. He and I held meetings in Hawkesbury, Bourget, Lorignan, Russell, all through that area, because I wanted to make sure that Terry Fox got a proper welcome into Ontario. Because I knew what kind of welcome he was getting in the other provinces, especially in Quebec, where they kicked him off the main highway. So when Terry Fox came through Hawkesbury, there were school children, there were Rotary Club people, there were Lions Club people, there were school teachers, there was a variety of people. The balloons were flying, and he arrived in Eastern Ontario, and from that moment on, the Terry Fox Run became hugely visible in Canada, and as we all know what happened with respect to Terry Fox. So the legacy lives on, and on the 25th anniversary of Terry Fox, I was MC. I emceed on Parliament Hill, just by Wellington Street, by the statue of Terry Fox. 5,000 school children running around Parliament Hill and doing a speech on Terry Fox. And just this past 6 months, I got a call from one of the gentlemen who stayed with Terry Fox for the whole run. He came very close to Terry Fox. He said, "Terry, I'm writing a book on Terry Fox, and I want your input for one of the chapters. And I want you to tell us what really happened on the Terry Fox Run." So that book is coming out around September 12th. It's called Terry and Me, and it's about the behind the scenes, what goes on and what went on in the Terry Fox Run. Like most big events in this world, people that are behind the scenes are the ones that are doing all the work and doing the precision and doing you may have seen the coronation. Amazing precision, amazing work. But all that work just didn't happen overnight. In the same way that a lot of these things that you're involved with just don't happen overnight. They take time, effort, precision. And the other thing about it is, please don't overdo it, because your family is important and your family comes first. And that's what, but when I read all of the nominees and all the varieties of things that people have done in Stittsville. Stittsville was built on volunteerism. This community center built by volunteers. This is a home and a village of volunteers, which is fast becoming a metropolis of Stittsville. There's not going to be very much of the main street left, except for a lot of cars that are going nowhere. I don't know where they all go. But I just want to say I can go on for another half an hour, 2 hours, but you don't want to hear that. What you really came to hear here tonight is this wonderful evening that we have prepared for you, that Councillor Glenn Gower has prepared for you and his staff, and thank you very much to all the staff who prepared this evening for you, very special people, in your marathon of love, your marathon of compassion, and your marathon of giving and service to others.
Thank you, Terry. What a great message and great reminders from Terry. Now it's time to meet our nominees. You guys excited to meet our nominees? Yes. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to introduce all the nominees in each of the categories. And as I announce your names, if you come up to the front, and we have a certificate for you, and we'll pause for a photo underneath the arch. And if you have any friends or family who want to make their way up and take a photo, you are welcome to do that. There'll also be an opportunity at the end of the evening as well, if anybody wants to do some photos. So lots of photo ops this evening. Once we've done the photo, you can return to your seats. And then after we've announced all the nominees in all the categories, we will be going through each category one by one and announcing the recipients of the awards for this year. Each nominee tonight is receiving a gift bag with some gifts from local businesses and organizations. And they're a little bit mixed up, but some of the organizations include Brown's, Mavericks Donuts, McDonald's, No Frills, Spa Olivia, U-Rock Music School, the Stittsville Goulburn Horticultural Society, Eco West Enders, Mad Radish, JoJo's Pizza, and Katie Cobbler. And each of these organizations is proud to celebrate volunteers in our community. So we'll begin with the first set of nominees. These are the nominees for the John Curry Memorial Youth of the Year Award, Le Prix Commémoratif John Curry pour les Jeunes de l'Année. It is awarded to a young person who exemplifies leadership, inspires their peers, and has made a significant contribution to the community through volunteer service. And the award is named in honor of John Curry. John passed away last year at the age of 75. He was a longtime newspaper writer and editor, a history keeper, a school board trustee, an author, and a volunteer. He served our community for nearly half a century with unwavering kindness and generosity, and his work made a difference in the lives of many people in our community. And he had a particular interest in celebrating the achievement of youth, and that's why this award is named for John. So this year's nominees are Xavier Oteza. Xavier is a grade 11 student at Sacred Heart High School, and he likes volunteering for the experience of giving back to his community. In the bitter cold and snow, he could often be seen at the Joe Louis Park outdoor rink, helping to clear the way for everyone in the community by shoveling and flooding the rink. It didn't matter if it was freezing cold, a snowstorm, or nighttime. He persisted when others would have easily given up because of the elements. And because of his hard work, rink organizers were able to provide the community with more than 30 days of outdoor skating in a year when many rinks struggled to open at all. He is polite, hardworking, and a quick learner. He takes pride in his work and is a great example of volunteerism in the community. Please join me in welcoming Xavier. Rebecca Cocchetto. Rebecca is a grade 12 student at South Carleton High School and plans to study human kinetics at Ottawa U this fall. Rebecca has been volunteering with the 11th Stittsville Embers as a junior leader for more than 5 years. She has been instrumental in ensuring the continuation of the unit despite the pandemic and other challenges. In 2021, the unit was facing closure when it lost all of its adult members. Rebecca stepped up and was instrumental in providing new volunteers with advice and sharing experiences. She has advocated for the importance of keeping youth physically fit and involving them in nature. For Rebecca, the best part of volunteering is watching the Embers develop and grow as people and seeing their excitement when doing something new or interesting. Please welcome Rebecca. Caitlin Laboutier. Caitlin is a grade 12 student at Sacred Heart High School, and she gives generously of her time for the benefit of others. Not only is she a sports enthusiast and plays on various teams, but she also volunteers many hours for the associations and leagues for which she played. She volunteers as a coach, a scorekeeper at special sports events, and has performed duties as a camp counselor during summer breaks with Love to Groove summer camps. Every Thanksgiving, she can be found at the Sir Guy Carleton Secondary School, serving hot meals for those less fortunate. At Sacred Heart, she coached teams and organized and managed clubs, and she is a member of the Reconciliation Club, where she assists in organizing Indigenous initiatives for the school. She is also the editor of the school newspaper, a team lead for the 2023 Relay for Life, I think that's coming up this week, and a member of the prom committee, part of the wellness team, and a member of student council. Caitlin. All right, we're going to move on to our next category for nominees. This is the Senior of the Year, Aîné de l'année, awarded in recognition of a senior citizen who has made a significant and long-standing contribution to our community. Le prix est décerné à un aîné ayant grandement depuis longtemps contribué à la collectivité. This year's nominees are Captain Brian Bedard. Captain Bedard has been a volunteer firefighter in Stittsville since 1977. He started with the Goulburn Fire Department's Station 1 in Stittsville, and then after amalgamation with Ottawa Fire Services, Station 81. He has more than 45 years of service with the fire service and in the community. He rose to the rank of Station Captain, where he held the position from 2013 to 2018, and he was the parade ambassador for the Stittsville Village Santa Claus Parade for more than 15 years. Captain Brian Bedard. Dave Rook. Dave is a longtime Rotarian and served as the club president from July 2020 to June 2021. He embodies the Rotary principle of service above self in all aspects of life. Dave is involved in projects with local and nearby Indigenous communities, and he's a driving force on Rotary's Indigenous Working Group. When there was a call for support to transport sewing supplies to remote Indigenous schools, Dave answered the call. And when there was a call to transport winter boots to Indigenous youth participating in Back to the Land activities, Dave was there. He coordinates Stittsville's efforts to deliver flowers to residents at Thanksgiving, and he participates in most community outreach projects and is a driving force behind the Rotary Club's involvement in women's shelter assistance, refugee settlement programs, and support for the Stittsville Food Bank. He has provided mentorship and leadership in supporting food banks, at-risk youth, new Canadians, and environmental challenges as well. And he is once again taking on the Rotary presidency for next season. Dave. All right, and Dave, I just saw Dave on Friday night. He was emceeing the Rotary's annual trivia competition, so Quizmaster as well. Our next category is Teacher of the Year, Enseignant de l'année, awarded in recognition of an outstanding teacher in our community who goes above and beyond to support students and inspire the next generation of leadership in the community. Le prix souligne le travail d'un enseignant exceptionnel de notre quartier qui fait tout en son pouvoir pour aider les élèves et inspirer la nouvelle génération de leaders communautaires. This year's nominees are Matthew Davey. Matthew is a grade 8 teacher at Goulburn Middle School. He infuses his practice and the school with humor and a lot of care. After months of isolated online learning, he turned his overgrown hair into an opportunity for his students to refine their persuasive essay writing skills. The student who wrote the most effective essay selected his haircut and facial hairstyle. Very brave of Matthew. His homeroom facilitated a school-wide fundraising event to contribute to the school's goal of creating an outdoor classroom, and he teaches students how to be people of strong character and active in community life. Now, Matthew's not here tonight because he is busy volunteering. He has a sports team that he volunteers for, so we'll make sure he receives his certificate at a later date. Our next nominee is Sandra Polito. Sandra is a grade 6 teacher at Guardian Angels School and has been influential in helping new Canadian students become familiar and comfortable with the new culture and school environment. She is responsive, caring, and passionate about education. She is a leader at the school and is involved in special activities and events that make school life special for her students. Sandra Polito. All right, we're moving to Business of the Year, Entreprise de l'année, awarded to a local business that goes above and beyond in order to support the community and make it a better place in which to live. Le prix est décerné à une entreprise locale qui se surpasse pour soutenir la collectivité et faire de notre quartier un lieu où il fait bon vivre. Amberwood Lounge and Eatery, Ale. Ale is a family-run business that has operated out of the Amberwood Village Clubhouse since 2016. They are more than just a restaurant and have supported the community through fundraising activities and special events. This includes the Trivia Master, which has raised $8,000 towards organizations such as a breast cancer support group, the Kiwanis Club, the Military Wives Group, and a special group that raises funds for disabled athletes. They also work with Algonquin College to mentor young adults seeking to enter the food and beverage industry. Amberwood Lounge and Eatery. That's Ben from Ale. The Foley Peters home team. Foley Peters has been a force for positivity, fun, and togetherness in our community, conducting food drives, pumpkin and yard bag handouts in the fall, and Christmas tree donations and letters to Santa during the holidays. For the local Halloween event, they helped to collect more than 100 snowsuits for families in Ottawa. They volunteer their time for the community in many ways, including the popular Party in the Park that happens in just a few weeks at Jackson Trails and Fernbank Crossing. It includes bouncy castles, pony rides, barbecue, face painting, and a lot more. And more recently, they were valuable contributors to this year's Easter egg hunt in Crossing Bridge. They are true role models that thrive on community engagement and support. The Foley Peters home team. Unfortunately, they were unable to join us tonight, but we will be delivering their certificate to them soon. Scratchbox Gastro Truck. Scratchbox chef Reggie Olson and family opened their business during the pandemic. Chef Reggie and his family are committed to the community, which was evident during the derecho last May. They provided free meals to anyone who didn't have power, and he did this again during the last ice storm. When there were break-ins at several food trucks, Reggie offered his support, even though his own had been broken into. He offered 160 free meals to volunteers during the Parade of Lights, supports Operation Come Home, and quietly helps to provide meals to families and individuals who may be struggling in our community. Scratchbox is the kind of small business that makes a big positive difference in our community. Scratchbox Gastropub. Reggie. Volunteer Group of the Year. Groupe de Bénévoles de l'année, awarded to a group of citizens who are actively working together to make a difference in the Stittsville community. Le prix est décerné à un groupe de résidents qui travaillent activement ensemble pour faire bouger les choses à Stittsville. This year's nominees. We have some big groups nominated this year. Chelsea Walton, Scott Muir, and family. This family has done so much for the community, bringing us together in smiles and laughter. Residents may remember their creative Halloween skeletons on Crantham Crescent last fall, and they continue their involvement with the Easter egg hunt at Crossing Bridge Park earlier this spring. Perhaps you've dropped by for a cookie or lemonade fundraiser for great causes. Both Chelsea and Scott are busy parents and busy volunteers in the community, and they make community service a fun family adventure. Chelsea, Scott, and family. Hazeldean Gardens Retirement Residence Volunteers. Hazeldean Gardens is fortunate to have more than 12 regular volunteers who donate their time to enrich the lives of more than 150 seniors living in the retirement residence. They help to ensure that residents are living in a vibrant and caring community, and many of these activities extend to events that are enjoyed by all of Stittsville. The range of volunteer activities include bus excursions and picnics, personal shopping, reading, painting, sing-alongs, fitness, bazaars, bingo, billiards, shuffleboard, fireworks displays, fundraising, celebrations, and more. The Hazeldean Gardens Retirement Residence Volunteers. Come on up. Lionhearts, under Travis Blackmore's leadership, Lionhearts has worked in food rescue, picking up donations from businesses and farmers who donate their surplus food items for people in need. They are set to rescue more than $5 million worth of food this year. Travis works out of the Chapel Ridge Church, coordinating more than 40 volunteers who help to rescue bread 7 days a week. Lionhearts and Travis Blackmore. And our final category nominees, Le Prix Commémoratif Roger Griffiths, the Roger Griffiths Memorial Citizen of the Year Award. Roger Griffiths was a leading citizen in our community who served as town councilor, president of the Legion, and a volunteer firefighter. We'll be hearing a little bit more about Roger later on this evening. This award is presented to an individual who best exemplifies community involvement and participation. Le prix est décerné à une personne qui est un parfait modèle d'engagement et de participation communautaire. This year's nominees. Captain Brian Bedard. We've already met Captain Bedard and heard about his experience and contributions as a volunteer firefighter. He has lived in Stittsville with his family for 4 decades on Liard Street, right around the corner from the fire hall. When his children were younger, he used to coach his son's minor hockey team for a number of years back in the 80s and 90s, and he was also very involved in fundraising for muscular dystrophy. In fact, he organized and manned the fire station's booth every fall at the Stittsville Flea Market to collect donations. And Stittsville was usually the top, or very close to the top, of fire stations across the region for funds raised. Please welcome again Captain Brian Bedard. Penny Horexi. Penny can often be seen working in our park gardens, trails, and exchanging heartfelt sound advice on planting protocol. She holds the position of Vice President of the Stittsville Goulburn Horticultural Society and has been instrumental in the planning and volunteer maintenance of the gardens at Lee Boltwood Park. She takes great pride in the floral gardens and can be found there many Saturdays planting and weeding. Penny ensures the planters in Village Square Park are filled with seasonal flowers and plants every year, and she visits regularly to water and weed, and I can attest to that. Every time I walk through the park, it feels like I run into Penny. She has manned the barricades at the Parade of Lights and organizes crews for the Clean Up the Capitol campaign. She volunteers at the Horticultural Society plant sales and their events, and Penny helps ensure that Stittsville residents have beautiful parks to visit, clean trails to walk and ride along, and great garden advice. Penny. Glenn Kneebone. As president of the Kiwanis Club of Canada Stittsville since 2019, Glenn has led many community initiatives aimed at helping youth in the community. Some of those have included movie nights in Village Square Park, the annual Youth Talent Showcase, trivia nights at Ale. In addition, he has been a leader in raising funds for Chromebooks that have been donated to local school boards to distribute to underprivileged youth in the community. Most recently, he has been instrumental in creating the Stittsville Youth Homework Club, which operated this spring, and he is currently working towards a more permanent drop-in center in the community. He has always been interested in helping youth in the community and was involved from 1989 to 1995 as a Cub leader and as chairman of the Stittsville Scouts Group Committee. Glenn. Adrian Noble. Adrian started volunteering with the Goulburn Skating Club 20 years ago and helped with many of the club's special events and went on to become the treasurer and registrar. In her roles, she has been responsible for more than 10,000 registrations over the years, registering all members annually with Skate Canada. She has volunteered for the club's ice shows and the Special Olympics competition. She has been on the hiring committee for coaches and helped to upgrade the club's bylaws. In addition, she has cooked soups, baked desserts, and hosted many board meetings. She was the executive member on site for canned skate sessions and the safety officer throughout the pandemic. Adrian has volunteered for 20 years in addition to her responsibilities as a mom of 3 and now in her 40th year of teaching high school. She works with students who have exceptionalities, including those identified as ASD, Down syndrome, and with students with physical and learning disabilities. She has certainly inspired many skaters and their parents for her dedication to the community. Adrian. Chelsea Walton and Scott Muir. With a blended family of 5 girls, it is difficult to understand how they can accomplish so much outside of family demands. Yet, with their second nomination of the night, it is clear they continue to go above and beyond. They've organized a local street party, movie nights, the Halloween skeleton snowsuit fundraising displays, the Crossing Bridge Easter egg hunt. Scott and Chelsea have instilled in their children the importance of giving back to the community. During the summer months, the girls have lemonade and cookie stands to support local causes, including supporting a new Ukrainian family. Their relentless drive and ambition to make the community a better place is a model for their children and for everyone who knows them in the community. Our community has benefited from their kindness, generosity, and passion for volunteerism. Chelsea and Scott. All right, now we've met all the nominees, and it's time to announce the award recipients in each category. There are many incredible volunteers, and I'm always amazed at the variety of things that people are involved in our community. The recipients of the awards were selected by our steering committee again this year. This is a volunteer group that meets to read through all the nominations and make the selections, and they had quite a challenging task in making the selections this year. So thank you to everyone involved in that committee. For the John Curry Memorial Youth of the Year Award, le Prix commémoratif John Curry pour les Jeunes de l'année, the recipient is Caitlin Leboutillier. For Senior of the Year, Aîné de l'année, the recipient is Dave Rook. For Teacher of the Year, Enseignant de l'année, the recipient is Matthew Davey. And unfortunately, Matthew can't be with us tonight because he is volunteering. That's the only acceptable reason to miss these awards, by the way. Business of the Year, Entreprise de l'année. The recipient this year is Scratch Box Gastro Shop. I hope there's room in the truck for that. Volunteer Group of the Year, Groupe de Bénévoles de l'année. This year's recipients are the Hazeldean Gardens Retirement Residence Volunteers. So you'll have to get a spreadsheet going, and you each get the award for 1 month of the year, each rotated around. The final award presentation tonight is Le Prix Commémoratif Roger Griffiths, the Roger Griffiths Memorial Citizen of the Year Award. And we have a very special tradition each year. A member of the Griffiths family joins us and takes part in the presentation of the award. This year, please welcome Roger McKee.
Well, first of all, hello, my name is Roger McKee. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here to celebrate just helpful people and volunteers and just the general sense of caring and helping each other. So thank all of you, first of all. I would love to come up here and give a big speech and tell you a great story about my grandfather. Unfortunately, he passed away soon after I was born. So all I'm left with is his name and an unlimited supply of people who want to tell me stories about him. Literally nonstop, specifically here in Stittsville and at the Legion. Oh my God. I've heard that if I did know him, that it would be a huge honor for him to have this award named after him, and for people, as I said earlier, just coming out and helping each other being celebrated would be astronomically important to him. And it's a huge honor to him, it would be, and it's a huge honor to our family as well. All the nominees for this award all deserve their own special night and their own special day of people talking about them and celebrating them. You guys all do, it's incredible. I read through the stuff earlier today, all your contributions. Thank you so much from my family and from my grandfather. I don't think he'd want to win this award if he were still alive. I think a big part of him is just celebrating others and pointing out how important it is to be active in your community and to be as helpful as possible. And if he was still here, I'm sure as soon as this award was over, he'd be talking to each and every one of you saying, well, what's the next project? What are we gonna work on? I'm free on Tuesday, let's get together. Let's talk about it, let's work on it, let's make a plan, let's make it happen. This year's winner truly does show dedication to their community through their ongoing efforts to keep it as safe and supportive as possible. I mean, years and years. On behalf of my grandfather, my family, and this community, I'm more than happy to present the Roger Griffiths Citizen of the Year Award to Captain Brian Bedard.
All right. Congratulations again to all of our award nominees and recipients, and thank you for everything that you contribute to our community. Thank you, Roger, for being here, and welcome as well, Lynn Griffiths, with us as well. Thank you, Lynn, for being here. We are so lucky to have the ongoing support and participation of the Griffiths family. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Yes. I also want to take a moment to remember another longtime community volunteer who passed earlier this year, John Brummel. Many of you will know John from his many years as a photographer for the Stittsville News. In fact, he was also the official photographer for this event as a volunteer for several years, up until 2019. And John was a recipient of the Mayor's City Builder Award, and he was recognized as the Senior Citizen of the Year in Stittsville in 2013, and we miss John greatly in our community. I want you all to take a moment to think about some of the events and groups and initiatives and activities that make Stittsville a great place to live. So many of the things that we are proud of as a community here in Stittsville depend on volunteers. Every day we see the important role that volunteers play in our community, and again we see residents coming together to find new ways to support friends and family and neighbors. Tonight's event is happening thanks in large part to volunteers. The awards are organized by my team going above and beyond their regular responsibilities. Merci à mon équipe, Bob, Juliana, Spencer, Kara, and event co-chairs Lisa Lebrun and Catherine Musgrove. Lisa and Catherine, they've been working all night tonight. Thank you. The award selections were made by our selection committee, and this committee is made up of local volunteers who helped evaluate the nominations and select the winners. The committee includes Terry Christopher, Janet Stavinga, Phil Sweetnam, Keith Toro, and Mandy Hambley, and I think most of them are here tonight as well, so thank you to our selection committee. A few more thank yous. There's a lot of people who helped make tonight's event possible. The Griffiths family, Abby Thompson, who sang the national anthem, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, who's here earlier, Terry Christopher, ISI Live, who've helped with our audiovisual, and they're also live streaming tonight's event, so it'll be available on YouTube if you want to share it with friends and family. Jiffy Photo, Mementos Sign and Awards, The Balloons Lady, and U Rock Music School. The healthiest communities around the world are the ones where the most people get involved in their community. Measure health any way you want, physical health or mental health, social health, economic health. The indicators all improve when you have a lot of people pitching in and getting involved. To our nominees and winners, you should be very proud about what you've accomplished. Je suis fier de perpétuer cette tradition annuelle. I am proud to continue this yearly tradition so that we can continue to thank these leaders for their outstanding contributions to life in our community. And to our nominees, before you leave tonight, we do have some gifts for you, so please make sure you pick those up. And also, if you were part of the selection committee, we have a thank you for you as well here at the front. And as I mentioned, if there's anyone who wants to get some photos, please feel free at the front of the room here after the end of tonight's event. Now, before we wrap, I'd like you all to take a short moment to reflect and think about something that you can do on your street, in your neighborhood, at your school, at work, something to make a difference. And I challenge you over the next year to go out and make it happen and to get involved, and maybe we'll see some of you honored up here in a future year. Merci à tous pour votre participation. Thanks to all of you for getting involved. Take care and good night.